Welcome to my podcast. Hope you like it. It's called GDIME. Unofficial theme song of GDIME. That was just a parody of Welcome to My Island by Caroline Polachek, because I saw her in concert last week at the Enmore Theatre. Get a grip. Well, ELLIOT. Welcome to episode 18 of Graphic Design is My ELLIOT. GDIME. Today is Tuesday. The happiest of Wednesdays to you all. It is truly ELLIOT time. And we'll pause for the thumbnail. On the menu for today, new segment alert, design chef alert, and Caroline Polachek reviewed? What? All right, welcome back, everyone. Good to see you. It's good to be back for another week of GDIME. Maybe I should address the elephant in the room. Or should I say, maybe I should address the MacBook in the room first. Is that a good idea? But I also don't want to disturb the dog, because the dog is watching the telly right now. The dog is watching the TV. Yeah, let me get your bearings if you're feeling a bit lost, okay? Because there's a lot has changed, and you might not have realized that things have changed, but a lot has changed, okay? Number one, greenery has improved, okay? I swapped my plants on the right of your screen. So now this umbrella tree is in main focus, and the bird of paradise has moved further to the window. The bird of paradise appreciates the extra sunlight, and the umbrella tree now gets a lot more greenery into the shot, which I think is really beautiful. And we also get to show off the beautiful recycled planter by Joshua Space, an amazing Melbourne-based designer and item maker and really cool guy. So that is we're now showing that off over there. Okay, I'm very happy with that change. And what inspired that, funnily enough, and what inspired this, you can also notice the Monstera leaf here. I've moved the Monstera that used to be in this corner to be more in this corner. It used to be off camera. Now part of it gets shown, and I think it just adds a little bit more greenery, because I think greenery really ties it all together, and it really works with the color grading, and I think the room now feels pretty complete. There's not many things I look at this shot now and I'm like, this feels pretty good. Maybe the only thing that needs is the top left corner there, but that's too high. That's too high on the ceiling. I'd love to get the Moderna print moved up a bit higher onto the wall, but I also don't want to risk damaging the walls, as I'm only here for a limited time, okay? But it's looking pretty complete. I'm feeling pretty happy about it all. And I am inspired by the first ever GDIME thumbnail. If you go back and you look at GDIME 0, the thumbnail is so green and the shot is so green, and I'm like, how can we get that back? And I'm like, I just got to move the plants back into frame. I used to have Monstera there, and then I moved things around. One Monstera is now in the bedroom. Anyway, that's what's happening. And of course, there is now a MacBook in the frame where I can now keep my notes and do things like browse the internet. So let me explain this. We'll start with the featured item of the week, actually, because it does have something to do with it. Would you believe? So, of course, the featured item of the week is, of course, my 2024 tax return, because I'm going to claim the MacBook on that. Now, that's the funniest joke I've made all day. That's right. Yay! It was a pricey device. The whole thing is, I wanted the MacBook for... I also got a comment the other day on my YouTube channel saying, finally, a designer who doesn't use a MacBook. And I was like, well... Look, I wanted to get a MacBook for New York. So I was going to get one eventually. And let me tell you guys, I was doing nothing last week. I was like, every time I would sit at my desk, I'd go, fuck you, to myself. Fuck me, you know? And I was like, I need to change something. Something's got to change. And it's just, I cannot be sitting, especially in these hot summer months ahead, I cannot be sitting here at this damn desk. I need to move. I need to get out of this space. So one thing everyone says, find a new space if you want to change up your workflow. And you can't do that when you have a giant computer, okay? So now we can do that. We can be mobile. I'm very happy about it. I got this little Bagoo case as well that's got this nice protection stuff on it, so I can do that. I've got a SSD coming in so I can move between the main computer and this for the Premiere Pro projects. It's exciting. It's exciting, guys. We should all be excited as I am. It feels good to be mobile for the first time in 4 years. God, it sucked being on this big dog computer. It's great, don't get me wrong. Does the job, but like, Jesus, I need a change of space. So I'm very happy about this. It's interesting, actually, the way the Mac system OS works in comparison to the Windows OS. I don't think I like it yet, but I'm gonna definitely. I can see myself getting used to it. I just don't know I don't know how to use it, I guess, is the main thing. But I like how it's got a little fingerprint thing on the on the keyboard. I like how I can unlock it with the fingerprint. But this is the 16-inch, if anyone was curious. So we've got the big screen for the editing purposes, and it's got all that good shit inside it to mean it will be fast, which is important for me for the editing purposes. Because the YouTube editing has been slow because the files are too damn big, even with proxies. I also love how this computer has a HTMI port. I don't know what I'd use that for, but it is cool that it has ports. I was under the illusion that all MacBooks across the Air, the Pro, had just swapped to like a 2 USB-C kind of style thing, and you needed the port, the dock. But no, apparently this one's got an SD card and holder and everything, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise when I visited the Apple Store at Broadway, Sydney. That was a pleasant surprise. So yeah, we're feeling pretty good about this. I really like it. I was watching Jujutsu Kaisen on it the other night, and I was like, yeah, cool. Great speakers, can I just say. Really good speakers. We'll do a quick run report. No runs in the past week. No runs. I'm in my strength building phase. And that's about that. We got no quick hitters this week. We'll take a question of the day, actually. I'd love to do a quick little question of the day once I pull it up on my phone here. We got some new questions over the past week. Of course, if you would like to submit a question of the day, you can. There is a link in the description of this video. We're going to do a quick little one from Starbitnaught, who asks, AI is a tool for graphic design? And then says, GDIME is so healing. I'm very thankful for it. I'm going to give this one a B tier. A B tier. I appreciate that GDIME is healing. It's healing for me as well. This is my therapy, everyone. This is it. Who needs therapy when you've got the gym, GDIME, and graphic design? Am I right, guys? AI is a tool for graphic design. Well, of course, Adobe Illustrator is AI in my eyes. No, I think I've been using it a little bit myself. If I ever get stuck on like a poster for a show, I don't use it for the Instagram page because I don't really use photos in my work anyway. But if I'm doing like a poster for a show and the show doesn't, like a theater show, an improv show or something, and the show might not have budget for a photo shoot, or it might be too hard to get people involved, then I'll use like I did like this Heroes Adventure style show the other day, and I posted the poster on my Instagram story, which you might have seen, and I of course did it myself because part of, if you cast me in your show, I do the design for free. That's kind of the deal, right? That's kind of what I do. It's my only act of generosity. And I used AI in the recent one just to kind of like fill in the blank spaces, I guess, because you can't really just, I don't know, it's hard to sell a show with just text. So that actually did help. And I did have fun playing around with prompts and all that. So I think it can be useful, definitely, especially it makes certain things a bit more accessible. But I don't see it ever coming a thing with, I mean, I think we've talked about this. I've expressed my thoughts in a YouTube video before, I think, as well. But I think in terms of like, designing a poster entirely through AI and stuff, no one wants to fucking see that. I personally think no one gives no one wants to see that. It's not fun, I love begging posters. So, but that's just me. I don't know. Everyone has a different thought on it. What's next? We've got so we have a new segment. We do have a new segment, which I did say in the title, which I would like to quickly address. And the new segment, drumroll please, is of course called Wizards Talk. Wizards Talk, which is where I briefly mention briefly talk about the state of the Washington Wizards. Because I think this is something that I'm super passionate about, and it's important for me to express my passions. And if you truly loved me, you would support my passions. Okay? Remember, this is a one-sided relationship. So you have to love me and I cannot love you back. And if you really did love me, you would appreciate me talking about the Wizards, the love of my life, the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards lost 100. We're going to very quickly talk about this. I don't want to bore you. The Washington Wizards lost 101 to 146 against the Philadelphia 76ers the other day. They have won 3 games this season, and at last count, I believe they have lost, I want to say 19. Okay? 19. They've won 3 games and they've lost 19. The only team with a worse record is the Detroit Pistons, who have won 2 games and lost 21. They're on a 20-game losing streak. 20-game losing streak. Okay? So I can be grateful. I can definitely be grateful that I am not a Detroit Piston fan. I chose the right red, blue, and white color scheme team. Apart from that, there was also the Philadelphia 76ers, who beat the Wizards 140. They also were red, blue, and white. It's a weird time to be a Wizards fan, okay? Today they're talking about moving the arena to, I think, Virginia? Where is that? Arlington? Who? Sorry? That's not on the... I don't know where that is. I had plans to go... When I moved to New York, I had plans to go to DC and watch the game. That's the whole point. Where is Virginia? Where is that? Arlington? So I'm not very happy about the Wizards right now, but it means that I don't have to watch the games because they suck that much. But there is a little bit inside of me that goes, yeah, this is the game they win. They're going to win this one. Awful. Awful to live your life on that kind of hope. Just a terrible NBA team. But maybe in 5 years they'll be good. And I'll be 47. Isn't that ridiculous that I'm 42? First thing I would like to... That's enough of Wizards. That was Wizards talk, everyone. That was Wizards talk. Throw that out the window. Throw the team out the window. Throw the season out the window. Jesus. Guys, if you're in my Discord server, the very exclusive Discord server, the type house that I would suggest you do not join. It's closed. We're closed. Because I can't be bothered moderating it or dealing with it. Just it's a legacy server. That's what I would call it. It's a legacy server. A new server will open for Design Chef, probably. Maybe not. Who knows? Well, I need to decide that. Design Chef is back. I made a poster. I made a poster, okay, announcing that Design Chef is returning. It is returning on January 5th, Friday, January 5th. It's the first Friday of January, or it's Thursday night if you're in America. So January 4th if you're in an American time zone, January 4th, Thursday night. It's midnight, January 5th if you're in London or around that time zone. It's going to be late for you if you're in Europe. I'm very sorry about that. But otherwise, it's 11 a.m. Sydney time, 7 p.m. New York time, and midnight London time, okay? Design Chef's back, baby. Every month, it'll have a different theme. I think last week I mentioned that I've been trying to spend an hour a day on Design Chef. As of this week, I have done that, and that was where the poster kind of came from. Also, great news too. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is the plan for making new posts. Monday, I started working on a post. I gave myself an hour, got halfway through it. Today, I finish it off. It's being uploaded tonight at 3 a.m. my time. So I'm going to wake up to some nice comments, I'm sure. It's about design trends, and I think it's really funny, and it looks really good. It's exciting. That's very exciting. I'm back on the horse, guys. The horse is neighing. The horse is giddy. Okay? I'm on it. I'm riding it. And I'm saying yeehaw. We are so back on Instagram, which is really exciting. So that's good. And then Design Chef I've been working on as well, and I look forward to continuing working on it daily for the forthcoming weeks until Design Chef actually happens. So expect a big budget miracle show. It's going to be awesome. Okay? It's going to be so cool. There's going to be music. There's going to be dancing. There will be a costume. There will be a costume. Every month there will be a new theme and a new costume. So the plan, I think, is to announce the theme and the date halfway through the month, and then kind of work towards that do the stream, and then, give everyone like 3 weeks heads up as to when the next one's happening. That's the plan, at least until New York, and then we'll see where we go, because obviously it takes that moving will get in the way, so we might have to take a month or two off, which will probably end up being 6 months off, knowing me, and then we'll get back into it in 2025. Very normal thing to do. Very, very normal pattern of work. Okay? But that's going to be fun. So Design Chef is back. Yeehaw. Very, very excited. I was also really happy with the poster. And it was cool. You'll see it. I'll post about it on Instagram soon. But I think it looks quite good. I think I am starting, guys, I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but I think I might be enjoying graphic design again. Yeah. Now indeed. I think I might just enjoy graphic designing, which is a wild thing to think about, but I think I might just be. I was really having a good time making these posters. I really was. I've tried to work in like a new color scheme. I've been using, instead of using my off-white, the cream color, I've been going for like more of a light blue, like a very, very gray light blue. And it works really well with my existing red, yellow, blue color scheme, except like the orange version, which is the YouTube channel kind of color scheme. So I'm very happy with this, guys. I'm finding the love again, just in time for the new year. And I really think that, I had this plan to do the make a post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and do Design Chef every day. That has really helped. It just gets me like, it's already like routine. Like I've already locked it in and be like, that's a non-negotiable. I think that was the main trick for me. It was like those two things. And then Tuesday, Thursday, instead of making a post, I just brainstorm ideas. So those 3 things, I guess, those are non-negotiable things now. And I'm like already, set, done. Set the timer, 1 hour, go for it. And then the day starts after that's done. That's like not even part of the day. Yeah. And I've been finding that really helpful. I mean, look, we're 2 days into this. We're 3 days in. So, it's hard to judge. But for now, it's working really well. And I'm feeling very good about work again, because for a while I wasn't there. So that's really exciting. I love to be making stuff, and I'm happy to be back on the grind. And then the plan is, I do that in the morning, and then the rest of the day, evening, is kind of more spent on the YouTube channel and any kind of client work that comes up, whether that be like sponsored reels or stuff, which I've got more coming in the new year. Woo! But mainly YouTube. I've got like 2 weeks to make the next video. I think I was meant to work on it immediately as the last video went up, but then the new video kind of started tanking a little bit, which scared me. So I changed the thumbnail and title like 4 times in the last 4 days. Brought that click-through rate all the way down to 1.8% as of yesterday. I was like, holy shit, that's a new low. That's a record low. That means 1.8% of people click on that thumbnail and title. It's usually at around 5%. I was like, shit. Okay? So today we're changing it again. But today it's gone back up to 3.8. I don't know. So I'm like, do I just leave it? But the views it's getting like 12 views an hour or something. It's very low. Very, very low. We need to get that back up. Because I do believe in the video. I just think I need to kind of like package it differently, just like I did with the clone video. So we're gonna keep playing around with that and hope that something kind of works. I think I'm just gonna go for like the Animal Crossing video style thing, which is me smiling instead of looking. It'll be me smiling and then the designs next to me, because I think the designs kind of speak for themselves. That's what I did with the clone video. I let the design speak for itself, and I thought that was good. So yeah, we'll keep playing around. I'm not really too fussed about it. I think the next video, which is going to be no designing, it's going to be just talking about design trends and like specifically design trend videos and taking the piss out of those. I think will be really funny, because there's so much to go into that. I was doing some research the other day on design trend videos, and I was going through this one guy specifically. I forget his name, but he's a bigger channel than me, right? And he does a design trend recap every year. And I was looking at this list and I was like, what the fuck, how this is I think it's the worst content, the worst thing you can do as a design YouTuber is make a video about design trends, because it just like, it always comes across as out of touch. It's so obviously just like, it's trend, the video will do well because it's the end of the year and people are interested always, because I can't help but not click. I'm curious. I want to know what the trends are next year, even though I know that I'm going to be disappointed. I opened it up and I think trend number 3 was botanical. Awesome. Flowers again. Botanical, like, what? Botanical was big in like 2008. How the hell is it still? It's like, huh? It's like this brand new thing. I think that was back to back, retro something, and then the next one was vintage something. Hang on, I've got a list. And this is why we have the laptop here, except I do need to unlock it every time with my fingerprint, which is can be annoying. How do I turn that off, you reckon? Let me. Also, I need a mouse because this thing's kind of annoying. Philip Van Dusen is the name of the bloke, right? Yeah, there you go. Number 4 was Botanica. Number 1 was heat mapping, which was just another word for gradients. Listen to some of these. Scrapbooking. There was activist and then anarchist back to back, which I was like, what? Digital deconstructivist, geometrica, golden era, Kiddieland, flared fonts, vintage Americana. I was like, huh? And then I looked back and I found the 2023 one, and we had basically the same stuff. So scrapbooking was collage. There was like new brutalism, 70s typography, geosimplicity, Cuba wave, Cuba, Cuber, the blob, vaporwave 3.0. Huh? Like, I just don't understand. Get up, dog. I don't get how, like, what goes through your head when you're making that stuff, you know? Like, what's the research? I looked at one of them. I think it was like this, I think in flared fonts, or maybe it was, honestly, I couldn't even tell you which one it was. Maybe it was Elastotype. So this guy's talking about Elastotype, and he's got these designs. Also, doesn't credit any of the designs used. It's just you know, fair use. Just a bunch of designs just thrown up on the screen. One of them, he's used them in 2023 before. My mate Chris Andrew Small, super talented designer, Sydney guy, right? Super talented guy. He's got a poster of his up on the screen for Elastotype because Chris uses like this real nice kinetic type stretch stuff. Chris doesn't get enough credit for his work as well. Can I just say? Guy gets ripped off all the time. Bloody people post about his work as inspo and never credit the guy. And on the poster, it says in huge text, 2019, right? It's a poster made for 2019. I get that trends come and go, but God, you would think if you're making a trends video, you would at least try and like include things that have been designed in like the last few months, right? Because that's the whole point. Not from 5 years ago. Like, is it just me, guys? Is it just me with this issue? Because I just don't get it. I am baffled by this. It just seems like it's like, you know, chucked in ChatGPT, give me some trends, give me some hot words, combine them together. One of the themes, golden era, is just using the color gold. I'm like, what? Is that, when was that? I haven't seen that. Huh? That's hardly a trend, and it's just not going to trend. Like, it's just it just seems so out of touch. So I think it's fascinating. And hopefully my video will kind of, you know, put an end to it for once and for all. I think I want, you know, I'm fed up with it. So I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to end the design trends forever. We'll see how the video turns out. I don't have anything for it yet. I don't have any notes or anything, but I think it'll be funny. What else did I want to talk? What? Hang on, let me pull up my GDIME list again. This little laptop is so funny. This little trackpad is so curious. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about I went to 2 concerts last week. Here's a bit of personal stuff. We're getting really personal here. I went to Caroline Polachek at the Enmore Theatre on Wednesday night. And then I went to the Foo Fighters on Saturday night at, I want to say, Accor Stadium. It was a stadium concert, okay? So we went from a really kind of like medium-sized venue, Enmore Theatre, beautiful venue, to a stadium, okay? Caroline Polachek, it was probably the best concert I've ever seen in my life. If you're a Caroline Polachek fan and you get the opportunity to see her live, oh my God, do it. She is incredible live. Sounds just as good as that, as all people say, sounds just as good as she does on the recording, but it's true. Honestly, incredible concert. Just absolutely incredible. Everyone there, I think that was the thing, was the first time I've been to like a concert where I felt like except Jockstrap maybe at the start of this year, everyone there adored her. We were in love with Caroline the entire time as soon as she came out. And there were so many points where she would kind of just stop singing and then kind of the light would shine in her face in a certain way and everyone would just lose it in the crowd. And she was doing this thing where she'd kind of get close to the microphone about to start singing the next song, but the crowd would get really loud and she'd kind of back off and cover her mouth and like being like, oh my God, I can't believe it. You guys are so nice to me, all that kind of stuff. And we were like, yeah! I have never heard a crowd be louder. Like we were going off. It was awesome. I also realized that I only really know the lyrics of the first 5 songs of Desire, which was that's the thing. She came out and she started and she was like, Enmore Theatre. She was like, I've done 2 shows in Australia. I've done the Opera House on Monday and tonight Enmore Theatre. But Enmore Theatre sold out first. So I'm going to sing you the entirety of Desire, her new album. And I was like, oh my God, this is exciting. Turns out she did the exact same thing on Monday. So anyway, whatever. But I thought that was funny. She comes out, does Welcome to My Island, which is the exact song I was hoping she would start with, and she did it. She killed it. Just awesome. Oh, it was so good. It was just so good. Well, I did unfortunately get stuck behind my brother, who was a little bit taller than me, who was stuck behind a guy who was a solid foot taller than both of us. So we had this really tall guy, Lewis, who was kind of tilting to the right, and then me, who was tilting even further to the right. So my neck was quite sore afterwards, and Lewis's ears were quite sore from me going like, Desire, in his ear, because I love Caroline Polachek so much. So many songs. That song Caroline Shut Up, which I'd never heard before, which was I'd never heard before, and then suddenly everyone starts singing along. Caroline Shut Up, which is just the easiest thing to sing along with. So I knew all the lyrics by the end of it. It was awesome. She didn't do Dang, which was very surprising. I think a lot of people were quite surprised by that. Apparently she did in Melbourne a few days ago. Interesting. But she didn't do Hit Me Where It Hurts, which is my favorite song from her. So I was like, okay, glad I at least got to witness Hit Me Where It Hurts, because she did that at the Enmore. Just a great crowd. Everyone was really awesome. Everyone was really lovely. It was great. Really, really awesome concert. The Foo Fighters, on the other hand, was a bit different, okay? I've never been to a stadium concert before. And it was packed. There were like 75,000 people at this bloody thing, I think. It was packed. This was also a day where it was 42 degrees Celsius, okay? That's really hot, if anyone's won. That's more than 110 degrees Fahrenheit. I know that. I think by quite a bit. It's very, very, very hot. Dangerous, like heat stroke level hot. Like stay indoors for the entire day level hot. Close your blinds level hot, right? Very hot. I cannot express how hot that is. Thank God for the beautiful thing that is the southerly, which is this wind that comes from the south to cool down the land, which happens every so often. And we got lucky that night. So it was actually quite cold. I was actually quite chilly at certain points. Would you believe? I'd never been to a stadium show before. And I have never experienced music so loud in my life. I've been getting ads for Loop earplugs for the last 8 months, right? And I've been like, oh, I don't need those. I need Loop earplugs. I need some kind of ear protection. There was a point in that show where I felt something pop in my right ear. And I went, oh! And I was hurting for the rest of it. Now, the hearing came back yesterday. There was a moment yesterday where it just came back kind of, and I was like, I didn't even realize I was kind of like at the half hearing level for the last 2 days. But I was like, whoa. And I realized I got to really protect these things. I got to protect my ears because Jesus Christ, it was loud. This poor family in front of us. I went with my mom and my brother. We had a great time. But it was 3 hours long. We'll talk more about that soon. This family in front of us, probably kids no older than 4. 2 kids, 2 parents, right? They're having a lovely time, laughing about the show. Nothing's happened yet. Dave Grohl comes out immediately, first song. He's like, Wah! Loudest bloody song to open with. I don't even know what the song was. Never heard it before. Like most of the songs, to be honest. Not familiar with the new stuff, but as soon as it was like, I got another confession. Immediately, it was like, I got a confession. You know, joining in on that classic. The kids in front of us immediately, fingers in their ears, like this is the loudest thing I've ever experienced. Poor kid directly in front of us. The other one kind of adapted after a while, but one of them, I reckon the first 2 hours, the kid had his fingers in his ears and was just like going through complete sensory overload. I felt so bad for the kid. I was like, this guy is having the worst 2 hours of his life. Poor guy. And the parents didn't really know what to do. And, you know, I'm no parent or anything. Actually, well, I did want to talk about that later. Mom, Dad, I got to tell you something. Just kidding, guys. I don't have any children. I'm no parent, but I was like, come on. Take the kid. Just give the kid some kind of break. The kid's dying over here. Just take him outside for a little bit. It's just the Foo Fighters. So that was kind of weird. It was like, I couldn't not see the kid when I was watching because I had to tilt my head a little bit because we were on the side. It was at a stadium, of course. We were seated. I was kind of looking over there, you know, at Dave Grohl and stuff, and then right in front is this kid. I'm like, I just felt bad the entire time. I was like, this is just weird. So 3 hours long, okay? We get to 2 hours in. I'm kind of done at this point. I've exhausted everything. I've been screaming to a few of the songs. I'm kind of done. And he goes, you guys, he's a funny guy, Dave Grohl. He's like chewing gum, having a smoke up there. He's kind of like, you know, being like, you guys like rock and roll? You guys like rock and roll? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, I'm going to show you my type of rock and roll. Okay. And we're like, okay. And he's like, hi. And everyone's like, hi. And he's like, hi. I'm like, hi. And he goes, let's sing along with this one. It's like really strange energy coming from the guy. But he was like, you guys want one more song? And everyone's like, yeah. And he goes, well, we've got 10 more. And I was just under my breath. I just said, fuck yeah. 10 more songs. We've been here for 2 hours, man. These guys are sweating their asses off up there on stage. The drummer is going through it. Just call it early, guys. It's hot. It's 40-degree day. So that was tough to hear. And then they leave. And there's this weird 5 minutes where everyone was there was 5 minutes of them not coming back on stage at the end. And everyone kind of was expecting an encore, so no one was really leaving. Everyone kind of clapped for them for 5 seconds as they left, and then everyone was just kind of waiting. They were like, of course they're coming back on. They hadn't played Everlong yet, which was, I think, the biggest sign that they were definitely coming back on. And Lewis spoils it. Turns out he looked on Reddit. He told us that Everlong would be played in the encore, along with a song called The Teacher. I had never heard The Teacher before. I think it's on the new album, which I had hardly listened to, unfortunately. And you know, they kind of come back out, everyone cheers, everyone goes crazy. And they start playing this song, and then in the background on these big screens. Also, the AV stuff was underwhelming. Shout out to any AV designers out there. You guys, I don't think, this felt like it was their management doing it. It was a bit underwhelming. Anyway, the words, the teacher, kind of shine above the fighters, right? And Lewis turns to me and he goes, this is a 10-minute long song. And I was like, surely they'll play an abridged version. No, they played the full 10 minutes. But then they played Everlong to finish. And honestly, Everlong made the whole thing worth it. That is one of my favorite songs of all time. I forgot how much I loved Everlong and how good it is. That is such a good song. Oh my God. Truly an incredible piece. So that was really nice, being able to sing along to that and everything with everyone was really cool. Interesting as well, he was like, who's been here before? Who's been to a Foo Fighters show before? And honestly, I would say half the crowd put their hands up, and then the other half, he was like, who hasn't? And it was the same amount of hands. It kind of felt like, it was a weird crowd too, going from Caroline, where everyone adored her, to what almost felt like everyone had just gotten, like, half the crowd were, you know, there to see the Foo Fighters again because they love the Foo Fighters, and then the other half were there to accompany someone who loves the Foo Fighters and had never been before, right? So that was kind of what it felt like. So it was an interesting kind of vibe. No one really got into it too much. I mean, maybe like the main part of like the standing room got into it. It was kind of hard to see from where we were sitting, but it wasn't too. It was a rock concert, right? It was pretty chill. No one really stood up until Everlong, at least in the seated area. So it was surprising, but You know, it's different going like standing up at Caroline, kind of enjoying that, feeling super close to the artist and everything, to like feeling so far away but so overwhelmed by noise, and you're kind of just sitting there, you know, head banging a little bit, right? I was like, this is weird. So that was interesting, but it was a good time. It was a good time, but I think I'm done with I don't think I need to see them again. You know, I think I'm happy with the amount of Foo Fighters I've had live in my life. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about on the agenda. Well, the new video performance that we've already talked about that. The final thing was actually just saying, oh, how I love GDIME. And I just wanted to quickly say, as we close in on the holiday, as we start to feel the holiday spirit, happy December, you know, coming into the new year, I figured I'd say some nice little things about GDIME, because you all have been so lovely to GDIME, and I feel like actually the GDIME kind of, every GDIME I was uploading was kind of like a 10 of 10 for a while there, for a few weeks in a row. And then I realized I just should make better titles and, you know, actually include what we talk about. Like this one, I think is just going to be called Design Chef is So Back. That'll probably get people clicking. But I think next year, I'm really looking forward to how GDIME progresses, because I think, you know, I want to do stuff. I want to get the theme song. I want to get all this, but I can do that next year because I don't have time. It's the holiday season, guys. I've got to organize Christmas presents. But I'm really keen to like kind of go hard on Reels next year. Not Reels, sorry. Well, actually, I'll probably post on Reels. But like, you know, get an editor. I got some offers ages ago that I need to follow up with. But like, get an editor. You know, start actively promoting GDIME and seeing where that goes. And I'm just really excited about it. I think I got a really good feeling about next year for Elliot. I got a really good feeling. I think, I don't know what it was Monday when I started doing that hour of Design Chef and an hour of posting. I was like, oh, this is it. This is what I do. I design. I think that was the thing. Maybe it was like, I design. At the end of the day, I'm a designer. And I thought that was really fun to realize again and find the joy in that again. So very keen to see where that kind of goes. But yeah, I just want to say thanks, guys. Well, there's going to be 2 more GDIMEs before the end of the year. But, you know, I guess preemptively, I wanted to say thanks for GDIMing with me. Thanks for all your questions. Thanks for all the lovely comments. We've got some like running jokes that I, you know, can't really say right now because I can't remember them, because maybe we don't. But I think we do. There's a sense of community, and it's really beautiful. And I love all of you like I love my children that don't exist. So thank you for being here, guys. And I think that's going to do it for today's GDIME. So have a good one. It's been lovely, and I will see you all next week for some more GDIME, of course. Make sure you lock in January 5th or 4th in your calendar. Free it up. Yeah, I'll talk to you soon. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a good time. That kind of works. All right. See ya.